Hey there, welcome. Today we're gonna get ourselves the Nautilon, which is an exocraft that is focused on underwater exploring and, well, let's call it harvesting, so you can mine and you can also use your radar to locate interesting objects that you can investigate. So in order to get that exocraft, you first want to go here. So make sure that you have enough salvage data and nanites on you. Go here. And then we're going to look to see where the geobays are. There they are. And then the Nautilon is here. So you buy that chamber, first of all. You can also get it from doing a quest in the game later on. But this is really the easiest way to get it. I mean, you will always usually have enough salvage data. I say when I have 0. But yeah, I already bought it. Then the next thing you want to do is, because just like any other exocraft, the thing will come with the possibility to upgrade all the modules and make it faster and more efficient. So you want to go to this guy. And you want to buy all the things on the left-hand side. They're all focused on the Nautilon and how to upgrade it. The Humble Drive is basically the engine that makes the whole Nautilon run. So you actually have to get this, otherwise the thing doesn't even work. Then you also have the radar. You have the cannon, in case you want to get attacked or you want to defend yourself. Then you have a Thetis beam, or mining. And you have the osmotic generator, which is actually an improvement for your engine, so you use less fuel. These items here on the right hand side, they don't really work for him, so you cannot really get the mining upgrade. You would think that I'll just use the mining upgrade for the mining laser and apply it to the Thetis beam. That is unfortunately not possible. As far as I know, at this point in the game, there is no upgrade for the Thetis beam that you use in the Nautilon. You're not done yet, because the Nautilon also uses a specific kind of fuel that you actually have to craft, the hydrothermal fuel cell. And as you can see, you need salt, cytophosphate and carbon, the first two ingredients you can find in the water. Without this fuel cell, again, the Nautilon is not going to go anywhere. Pick those things up, then it might come as a surprise, but you have to install the Nautilon and the, well, it's geobay if we can call it that, because it's not officially a geobay. You have to install that in the water itself. You cannot install it on land and drag it with a trailer to the water, so you have to install it in the water itself. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to find a nice place where we can install it, and then also I will go over the upgrades and show you what kind of materials are needed for those. Alright guys, I found this really nice piece of beachfront property here, and it seems like a perfect location to put down our Nautilon dock, so to speak. But before we can do that, always make sure that you have the materials on you, and also keep in mind that you have to build a base first, or at least claim that land. So that's what we're going to do first. Okay, so now we can put down our Nautilon chamber. It's also not called geobay, but that doesn't matter too much. I just need to craft quickly 5 plating. Oh, there we go. And as I mentioned before, you have to place it in the water. Has to have a certain depth, I guess. Oh, perfect. So here's our Nautilon, and we're going to install the modules. So the Humble Drive has no energy, but we can still move it, so let's put that on one of those supercharged slots. And we're also going to install our Thetis beam. I'll go over the materials in a moment. Then over here we're going to install our, well, let's do the cannon. Do the radar there. I'm not sure if this actually works with the... We can install it, but I've heard that this actually doesn't work. that it doesn't recharge automatically at all. Okay. Anyway, let's go over the modules. So first of all, we have the Humble drive. And that is the main engine of our Nautilon that allows us to travel back and forth and blah blah blah. Then we have the Tethys beam, which is the mining laser that allows us to mine. And as far as I know, there is no upgrade you can get for this thing. But in my book, that is not really important. It's still fast enough and you're underwater, so you shouldn't be complaining about it. Then also the Nautilon has a cannon in case you have to defend yourself or you want to attack something, whatever you want to do. Then we have a radar, which is really brilliant because it will allow you to detect underwater structures of interest and interesting locations. We'll get to that. And I didn't think the Icarus fuel system, because it's not specifically made for the Nautilon, but it says that it automatically recharges the engine during the day. I've heard that this doesn't really work, but that is besides the point. So as any other Exocraft in the game, you have all these slots available, and you can guess as to why, because you can find upgrades for all these modules, except for the mining one, as I mentioned. You can just buy them at the space stations. I don't have any secret locations as to where you can find the best upgrades. I mean, to me that's part of the game, just to explore and fly around. That's the fun part of the game. You should simply be able to locate some and upgrade your Nautilon accordingly. In order to use these modules, we first have to get all the materials. So you see that we need 6 living pearls to complete this one. We need some solar mirrors, crystal sulfide, solar mirrors again. In order for them all to actually work, we need to have the materials and install them properly. So I will do that first. It took a while, but everything has been installed. I did park the Nautilon closer to the shore. So again, I'm not sure if this works. During the day, where's our engine? 71%. But either way, we'll keep an eye on this. What I'm going to do is we're first going to make some extra additional fuel cells. And you can actually, well, I already made a couple of them. I'll put them in the Exocraft just in case. I think I have the material to make another one. So you need some salt, cytophosphate and carbon, 40 of each. Just, let's build one more. And now we're going to have a look at all the individual components. So let's get on board. There we go. Also, it's important to note that there's 2 modes, so you can be in the cockpit. Which, by the way, does not allow you to scan in any shape or form. So you cannot scan for armored clams or whatever you want to look for, or scan plants or minerals. But it does allow you to kind of look around and have a better view of things, I think. I cannot move backwards while I'm in the cockpit, and you can change that mode of view by clicking the X key, or camera view. This is actually, it gives you a better overview, but yeah, now you can also kind of move around. I like the graphics, it looks really, the visuals are really nice. So when I push back now, the Nautilon actually turns around. So while I'm in the cockpit, that is not possible, but while I'm in this view, it does do that. So, alright, so let's first start off with the beam. So you have that little... Maybe there's another way to do it, but I've always done it this way, so... That little beam is really kind of on top of you. Which kind of makes it kind of strange in my book. There has to be a way to change the camera view, but I don't know how to do that, I guess. So you can mine, and sometimes little creatures will come out because you pissed them off. But the mining goes pretty fast, as you can see. Pretty cool. The cannon itself, let's change to that. Again, I wish because it keeps putting my Nautilon in the center, so I'm not really sure why that is. I'm going to change the camera view. Okay, now I can use the cannon. It might be a better view. So you shoot these awesome, well, lightning bolts, whatever you want to call them. Looks pretty cool. The thing is, and that surprises me, that inside the Nautilon you cannot scan for, like I said, armored clamps. So if I press F, nothing happens. There's actually a freighter laying there. That's funny. I'm gonna change the view back. Let's actually talk about this, because this is one of the reasons why the Nautilon is so popular, because you can scan for certain things. So you scan for drowned starships, crashed freighters, sunken buildings, and submerged ruins. My understanding is that a lot of people use it to scan for drowned starships, because it gives them a chance to find really special exotic starships and things like that. So we can try that, a scan. So it has detected a starship somewhere. Is that showing? Yeah. Now let's see how far this is. Okay, I'm gonna change the view because this is a little bit annoying. Okay. So. And this also brings me to another part of the game that I do not really understand. Because the Nautilon detects the starship, but if I want to go at full speed, and I understand I don't have any upgrades, it's gonna take me 7 minutes to get there. So the way I always play is I use the Exocraft to scan, and then I try to jump into my spaceship as fast as possible, because it just takes way too long otherwise. So we'll just get out here. So if this is not the right way to do it, then just please leave me a message, or leave a comment or whatever, because I would be really curious to see how this is supposed to be done. So I'm gonna... Because also often enough you have planets that don't have connected water, so there's more like a whole bunch of lakes and maybe a sea and stuff, and then when your Nautilon is in one of those waters, it can detect a sunken starship in another water, and you would be able to go over land, I think. So this is the way I usually do it. We're pretty close, so let's have a look. At least it should be pretty close. And now I should be able to, because I have the summoning bay on me, so I can plop that down. Let's plop it down there. And then I should be able to summon the Nautilon. There we go. Let's get in there. Hopefully it's not too far anymore. 15 seconds, doable. Oh. Looks like a nice one. So we'll just park here, get out of there. For those that are not familiar with it, you see that little, it almost looks like a teleporter, but it is actually some sort of oxygen chamber where you can get in. If you go through the door, of course. Like this one. And then you can restore your oxygen temporarily and get out back in again. So, okay, so we have a starship. Let's check out the distress beacon. That pilot. The ship's likely to be carrying a decent cargo. Okay. Well, search for loot, I guess. It's full of valuable commodities. I wonder what we're gonna get. Viking effigy. Launch fuel. Okay. Well, that is, I guess, really valuable. Let's get the nanites. Right, and then we can go to the ship. Because that's what we came for. Let's see what it is. It's a C-class. It's completely damaged. It's 13.8 million. We're not going to trade it in, of course, but we'll add the ship to our collection. And that's one of the ways to make money in the game too, because you don't have to repair it. You can just salvage it or scrap it at your local space station, get some of the money back. Unless you want to completely repair and get a little bit more back. I think normally the ratio is if it's completely damaged, you get like 1/8 or 1/9 or something along those lines. Alright guys, well, this is when I want to leave it. So as you can see, we can summon the thing anywhere. As long as you have the summoning station on you, it doesn't matter where you built that first dock for the Nautilon. Yeah, we upgraded the basic modules. We installed the basic modules, I should say, and now it's just a matter of going to space stations and finding the upgrades and installing them. It depends really on how much you want to do with the Nautilon. I use it to find starships. I haven't been lucky yet, but maybe I should go to more extreme planets. I don't know. It's also a great tool to... let me show this actually when you go to discoveries. Some planets have... you get a bonus if you discover all the animals, the fauna. And often enough, I'm not sure if this is one of them. On the water. Which sometimes you have a rare underwater animal. And I found that they are very difficult to find, because they're usually in the deep oceans. And then the Nautilon is perfect for that as well. Even though you cannot scan like this around, you can still use the Nautilon to travel further, and it, you have the oxygen with you, so to speak. So you can it's easier to find those final animals to give you that nice little nanite bonus, and that can be quite substantial. So that's what I use it for. Either way, I hope this helps. And if there's any questions, let me know. I'm not an expert, but I'll do my best to answer. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.